2 of our bog bags with products stuck into them. Okay. Here's my video of her. Yeah, she put them in, obviously you can see her putting them in the trunk of her car.
I just saw you walk out of my store with 2 bog bags filled with stuff.
Can you get me at least a price on the bags?
So that's 170.
It's got dark tinted windows on it. It was silver Honda.
Yeah, it might be behind me. There's one behind me right now. We're just coming up to Main.
The bags are ugly? I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, this is it.
Damn, they immediately got her ass. Just get her.
I don't think she's going to stop. Headquarters,
just get her.
I think they just got it.
Did they? Awesome. Good. That makes me so happy. I love that. Just like makes my day.
She's running.
She's running. Nice. Love that. Even better.
Yeah. And she's gonna go around, isn't she?
I think Nate's trying to catch up to.
No.
Driver, stop your car. You in the Honda, stop your car. No, pull over and stop right now. Yeah, we're stuck in traffic. She's
oh God.
Responding.
Really?
She's gonna stop here. Stuck in traffic. She's
oh God.
Responding.
Really?
She's gonna stop here at Reineke.
He said Nate's gonna be one with him in just a moment.
Driver, pull over now.
She just keeps going.
Yeah, she's not pulling over. We're coming up to 75 now.
Contact OSP. Let them know the direction. If I be going north on 75, ask for assistance.
Just get this bitch.
Nate's right. Of course, I'll be with him. I'll be calling the pursuit. If you can get us on pursuit channel.
She's trying to outrun the police? What are you, retarded? Oh my God, she's flying.
Speeds are 105, still middle lane.
Oh shit. All over some bags? Why is he going so slow?
Oh yeah, I get to fill out another one of these.
Hey, at least we caught this one.
Yeah.
At least we caught this one. Oh my God.
Dangerous going out there, even to get a license plate, but the license plate does help a lot.
I know.
626, you want me to take over this?
Yeah.
Oh damn. Brought it back up.
1350's okay, direct.
Okay. Bro, you know you're not supposed to be there. You're supposed to get out of the lane. Are you retarded? You're even in the passing lane. He's got an NPC there. USA drivers? What a moron. Oh. 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 Now she's locked in.
Should have a post unit jumping in here with you soon, 868.
See, in the future, they're going to just be able to press a button that blows up your car. We're not going to have these videos anymore, so enjoy it while it lasts.
Traffic's doing an excellent job of yielding to me moving, so I'm pretty much able to stay.
Yep, just, oh, boom.
Even if, for some reason, they call it off and they let her go.
The American dream.
The license plate does come back to her. So I could tell by the video you took that it was from her DMV picture. So they may call it off if it gets too dangerous in 75. But we got her either way, so we'll charge her. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep. I don't like this whole idea of it being too dangerous. I don't like this. We need to have new technology.
No, I just passed a deputy in the berm, but he's not in the pursuit. He's just pulled out. No lights or sirens or anything like that. Just me right now.
This is public safety reasons?
Speeds right now are 107. We're getting into a little heavier traffic. So you're gonna have to
what if you had like a fucking like a helicopter type thing that could go on top of the car and then use a magnet to pull the car up?
Yeah, I don't have any other lights behind me. I got that deputy back there, but he's not in it.
Like a tractor. Like, think about that.
Middle lanes, the 181.
Like, that's what they... see, we need to do this. Like a Chinook, yeah.
She didn't hit the...
I'm telling you guys. 4 stars at EMP? No, mess up somebody else's phone. I like blowing it up better. You guys like just blowing the car up? Like Mad Max? Jesus, she's still going? Oh my God. All over a bag?
Gonna go eastbound. Eastbound here on 582.
Why would you put on it? Why would you put on your turn signal? Like, this is, oh my God. You're trying to evade the police and you put on your turn signal?
199.
Stand by.
For safety. By the way, if you ever are trying to evade the police, the worst way to do it is on the highway. The highest probability of you getting the police to go to leave you alone is to go inside of a winding and, you know, weaving neighborhood and then make a bunch of turns and then try to figure out a way to exit that area in a different location that they wouldn't predict. That's what you have to do. How do I know that? Well, I had a friend of mine. He's a doctor now. Egg a cop car. I told him, don't do it. And that's exactly what we did. I told him, I said, don't do it. Got away.
When it's safe to do so, one of the agencies needs to take the one.
Drive to Los Santos car shop? Yeah. Well, you can only really do that like you can park in a driveway and then just like leave the car, but it only works at night.
99 here. Hold on, she's back to the west on.
Oh my God. What is she doing? It's like you're trying to LOS them, and it's like a complete. It's just in the middle of the Midwest. There's like the Midwest. There's like nothing there. You're not going to LOS anybody.
We are eastbound
on North Dixie Highway. If someone can communicate to this
oh my God.
behind me to come take the one position, I'll give it up.
What amazing is so many times the cops are around her. Well, they care about public safety.
Ran the red light at Fort Meigs Boulevard.
They need to have, as I said, the super magnet. The Chinook with the super magnet that just gets the car.
They're at the traffic light at...
And then after it gets the car...
Commons and Jefferson Street through
that intersection...
It initiates a 10 million volt shock to the car. And it just blows it up.
We're going to get back on 475 southbound.
Just imagine having a rail gun. Oh my God, she's wilding out. Why not a helicopter with a magnet? It's Kobe.
Whoever's behind me to take this lead.
And Oliver Tree. No more helicopters. We don't want to have. We don't like helicopters anymore. What? Oh, come on, come on.
I got a car trying to play police and not let them through. We're northbound. Yeah, just caused a 31 with them. 4911 rammed them. They kept going.
Uh-oh. Uh-huh.
Perrysburg Township has this.
Based? Yeah.
Pursuit. I'm second in line.
We need to have autonomous driving cars. We do. Can you imagine this on like a Waymo? Like, you'd just be driving a fucking maniac.
In case something happens or I need to fall out. We're still northbound, traffic's light. Speeds are 150.
Then try and miss every shot you don't take. Yeah, I know. Oh, look at that. Now they're all after her. RPGs on cop cars. Yeah. People are saying this is the best woman driver. Yeah.
Traffic move forward. We're going to be continuing northbound under the overpass here. I'll give you a direction here. Now we're going to be westbound on 25. Yeah, they just took a hit on it.
You know, there's one thing that I learned about Grand Theft Auto, and it's one of the most important lessons, is that you can kill all the cops, you can blow up the station, and there's just going to be more cops. And then you can kill all those cops, and then there's going to be more cops after that. There's just going to be more and more and more and more of them. And it's not like it's not like in Cyberpunk where they send in Max Tac or something, but you're just going to get overwhelmed. You're going to get tired, man.
Crossfire!
I want to see who this person is. I really do. Yep. That's right. Yep. Uh-huh.
Anybody in the back?
She's got her phone in her hand. What did I do? Tell me what I did? Oh, a bog bag. Oh my God, she's so annoying. $100 bog bag. Fist bump? Nice. Good job, guys. We got her. I feel like if you're really annoying like this, the police should be able to strap you to the top of the car like they do with like a, you know, you capture or you shoot like a deer or an elk and you have it tied to the top of the car. Like you just get tied to the top of the car while they drive you back to the station, right?
Females in custody. We're
Yeah.
75.
It's a good idea. Trophy? Yeah, like a Witcher 3.
You got a felony.
Big reward.
You can go to prison now for stealing some clothes. That's stupid.
No, I'm not.
Guess what? Slap on the wrist. First time offense.
Honestly, guys, like I really, you know what's so annoying about this obnoxious, disgusting pig is that she's actually probably right. I can't wait for somebody, dude, you know, like that Greg Bovino guy who's talking about Vlad the Impaler? We need to have him run for office. That's somebody I'd vote for. I don't need to know your policies. I just need to see you with the picture next to Vlad the Impaler's tomb. Okay, I've seen enough. I'm sold.
Nope, not in Hancock County.
Nope.
Wrong county, honey. You're not in Lucas County anymore.
Wrecked my new car, man.
Wrecked it?
Yeah.
Just verifying you want in custody.
My car up.
One clear.
Probably not first time offense.
Sorry about the new car,
Yeah.
Lieutenant. It's okay. Good job.
Just hatching.
Good job. They love it, bro.
Trail in 75.
This is why they joined the force.
That's how you do it. No damage.
Oh boy.
Oh, I'm pumped right now. I'm so pumped.
They're loving it. Oh my God.
Everywhere.
Wrangle that hog. Yep.
Everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
See y'all soon. Great job.
Thank you.
You ain't but a bitch with a badge. All of y'all.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank
As you're in the back seat.
you.
Good work. Good work, officer. Good work. fucking dumbasses.
I remember, like, my dad said that what they used to do in Florida is that with the people like this, they would just put them in there and then not give them the seatbelt and then just start. Give him a little, take him around for a spin.
For a fucking purse. Y'all slow as fuck.
Yeah, do a little bit of donuts. Yeah.
Fuck my car up.
I bet she has drugs. I bet she got drugs. No way, she doesn't have drugs.
Hey! Hey! I'm trying to open the door.
What?
There it is. Some pictures.
Oh my God. Oh my God. A dick's bag? Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, for a misdemeanor.
All this.
Kind of dumb, but I got a tow truck coming. I'm just gonna get our evidence here and go from there. So I've got a whole bunch of Stanleys, some clothes, like a black rubber bag.
Oh, what a fucking foid. She's stealing Stanley cups? Just put her in jail for 30 years. I've seen enough. Really? Oh my God.
A purple rubber bag and a plastic bag with clothes.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's all the stuff she stole.
It's a reseller, I know.
Why do they do this?
Why do they do this?
And he keeps touching my motherfucking wallet like you about to touch my money. Why is y'all in my money?
Why is y'all in my money? This person can vote.
What's wrong with y'all?
That's scary.
And pigs.
Who are you talking about a pig?
Oh yeah, we'll get there. You're not getting it though. So.
I mean, I just want to call and make sure my baby daddy and my daughter. That's it.
My baby
stopped at
daddy
Finley?
and my daughter. Why am I not surprised?
And we would have wrote you a court date and you would have left. And then you could have called your dad or your baby dad and your
I didn't
daughter.
know how Finley works, so I wanted to get to Toledo.
Toledo, and now what's
And
happened?
then I
You
went
got a
to
felony.
Perrysburg, and then I'm like, Perrysburg, so I was like, let me get to Toledo.
It's terrible excuses. All right, but no, you're not going to use your phone anytime soon. So sit tight, enjoy the
Well, I
calmness.
had a newborn baby. I just need. Can you call?
This is the, see, they're respawning. You see the problem? This is crazy. Like, you guys don't see the problem. Like, the kid's probably going to be retarded too.
Let me tell you something right now. I am being I don't give a shit. Okay, you know how many lives you just put in danger out there? Myself, all these officers, all the citizens out there, and then you're worried about your little baby. You could have stayed home and taken care of him like a good mom.
I am.
Peace.
Patriot alert, bro. Like, oh my God.
Yes.
Tear your motherfucking shit up. Y'all lucky, bitch. Not the damn seatbelt.
Take the seatbelt
The
off.
suspect, identified by her DMV photo as Angelica, was taken to Hancock County Justice Center. According to court documents, she was charged with 2 counts of failure to comply with an order and theft. Despite her threats of having the best lawyers, she was assigned a public defender, and her bond was set to $25,000. Her trial date is set for August 25th, 2025, which will be her first case in Hancock County. However, a search of her case history in neighboring Toledo County
Well, well, well. Do you remember what I can't stop saying this because it can't stop being true. We are spending billions of dollars micromanaging these functional subhuman animals whenever we should just be institutionalizing all of them. This is a 2%er. This is, in fact, a 2%er right here. If we had just kept this person in the box the first time they caused a problem, we wouldn't have this. We don't have to live like this. This might have been a single car accident. At least you got the public defenders. Yeah, read the top crime. Use of child restraints, transporting a child less than 8 years old. I don't know what that means. It
He revealed 17 different motor vehicle violations.
Right. 17 different motor vehicle violations? Oh my God. Holy.
Including one for having an unbuckled child in her car.
Oh,
and we'll
wow.
make a simple Dick's Sporting Goods retail theft call spiral into a multi-police agency pursuit. The answer is pretty simple. Failure to take accountability and running. And some might think that the more police that are involved might get this resolved quicker, but that's not always the case. And the biggest issue in this Ohio incident wasn't the escaping criminal. It was the inability of the officers to communicate to each other. And trust me, it wasn't because of bad police work. Because imagine, just for argument's sake, there's 4 different departments with their own radio systems, their own supervisors, and their own pursuit policies, and they're all chasing one suspect. It could be confusing and chaotic. Commands can be missed, and units may double up or be left behind. But in Minnesota, all law enforcement channels are digital, which allows them to have statewide channels.
Oh, it's Minnesota. Oh, she's probably, she's probably running for office by now. At this point, she might have already gotten elected.
For pursuits called LTACs, allowing every officer in the state to hear a chase if needed. Additionally, there are other statewide tactical channels that allow police, fire, and medics to be all on the same channel, talking about the same incident. The beauty of Minnesota system is whenever an officer goes into pursuit, every other officer in the state immediately hears it. But I'll leave you with this. If Minnesota can build a system that unites cops, medics, and firefighters on the same channel, what's stopping these other states? Is it politics, funding, or just a lack of will from the people in charge? So of course, let us know what you guys think. Should all states adopt the unified radio system, or is it just part of the job?
We need to have a situation that is the resolution of these people. We need to get rid of it. We need to get rid of this problem. We've got to get rid of this. It's a big problem. Yeah, what is this here? When do you know who to institutionalize? You just look at them. You just look at them. Like, it's actually so easy. But everybody goes like, oh, well, I don't know how to figure it out. I don't know who it is. I don't know what's going on. Shut the fuck up. No, it's obvious who the problems are. It's obvious and everybody knows it.
following
it. Because if the government isn't doing it, nobody's doing it.
So customers had 500 movie titles that have now just fizzled into the ether, into the fucking back rooms, and Sony says, suck our dick. You don't even get your money back. So you paid for...
You should get your money back.
Limited access to these films. You rented them fundamentally, even though you were under the impression that you were buying them and owning them. But because of this digital landscape,
deceptive.
you don't own anything.
Exactly.
You are paying for a ticket that gives you access for a set amount of time, depending on the companies or depending on the licensing. The movies are getting pulled because of a licensing issue with Studio Canal, but it's Sony's...
And literally, like, I want you guys to understand this. If the government just said that you can't pull a user's license for something just because your license expires, they have to still be able to access it. Every single movie company and every single production company would say, okay, you want us to jump how high? All you have to do is literally just tell them what to do. Like, it's not like this is an impossibility. They just figure it out. Yeah, they will figure it out. It's not like, oh my God, well, if we don't have this, this means movies, like, they can't make movies anymore. What do you mean? You still have DVDs probably in your own house.
Platform, and now all the customers that wasted their clams on it have nothing to show for it.
Exactly.
It's just a void. It's blank now. You will own nothing and be happy, and Sony shamelessly makes this announcement in light of that, while also announcing that they're shutting down the PSN store for PlayStation 3 and PS Vita, meaning hundreds, if not thousands, of digital games that existed on those platforms are now gone forever and not preserved because there wasn't physical copies of them. They were just digital titles there. So they are genuinely right in your face, hitting fucking Fortnite emotes on that ass, laughing and goatsing in front of you, showing like, yeah, you will own nothing and be happy. Look, we just took down this store, revoking your access to these games that you paid for. They're gone, Buster, and there's nothing you can do about it, Slime. Not even the Dragon Balls could wish these back into existence. Shenron is powerless against PlayStation. But let's not get too...
Well, you know what Super Shenron is? Super Shenron is the EU. Super Shenron is the United States government. We could literally just make it against the law for them to do this stuff. I want you to understand this. We can literally just say, like, this is against the rules. You can't do this anymore. So understand that. We control the government. And if there's enough people that are like us that speak up and that are outspoken about this, we can literally just change the way the rules are. The government won't take this seriously? Okay, then get more people. If you get enough people, here's something to keep in mind. And this is a lesson learned in all of the best and all of the worst things in history. If you can get enough people together, you can do anything that you want.
Rambunctious off rip. Maybe they've got a really good reason for it. In response to shifting trends in consumer preference, new games will be released on PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. Oh, shifting trends. You mean like how when GTA just announced with no physical edition, people were rightfully fuming, pointing out how awful that is in light of everything that's happened in this industry, where you can just have your access to the things you purchased revoked at any point in time. So if you don't have something physical, you literally own nothing. You own...
In my opinion, I think the solution to this is not mandating physical media. It is instead mandating better consumer protections from the government. I can't see a world where you can force people into making physical media, but I can see a world where you can have better consumer protections and better licensing understanding that's communicated to the user and also that gives the user more privileges. Because here's the problem, right? Is that when you buy something from Home Depot, you own the thing that you have from Home Depot. You can do whatever you want with it. Licensing is a problem because they have too many of the controls and effectively, basically they have too many cards on their side of the table whenever they're licensing, and the consumer needs more cards. And the only person and the only group that can give the consumer more cards is the government.
The idea of something, it's imagination. SpongeBob and Patrick in the Box imagining that they own their games right now when it's digital only. So if anything, the shifting trend in consumer preference is swinging back the other way to preferring physical media. Because of how bad this whole...
I don't think that's true. I only think that's true inside of things like, for example, the record industry with vinyls versus CDs. But I don't think it's true in terms of, selling physical media. And also, I mean, you can just look at data on this. It seems like people buy PlayStation games more often as physical media than they buy other forms of media like Xbox games or PC games. But, I mean, very clearly there's a reason why Sony is doing this. And the reason why Sony is doing this is the same reason why every GameStop is full of Funko Pops. It's full of Funko Pops because nobody buys video games at the store anymore. They all digital download them. And I would challenge even Charlie. I want to see the last 10 video games that you played, and I want to see how many of them you have a physical copy for. I bet it's going to be less than 5. I do. Because at the very end of the day, the reason why these companies are getting rid of physical copies is because nobody is using them. That's the reason.
Digital only shit has been.
And the solution is not making physical copies, it's having better consumer protections. Maybe a hot take, that's what I think.
As consumer preferences and the broader entertainment industry continue to shift away from physical disc to digital, physical game disc production for all new games releasing on PlayStation consoles will be discontinued in January of 2028. Also, again, a load of barnacles, this is horseradish. People are wanting more physical now. Like, for me personally, I've been a big advocate of physical media for at least like the last year and a half, if not 2 years, because of this trend that we've been seeing of just losing access to what you've spent money.
I don't agree. I agree with Charlie's sentiment, but I don't agree with his application. And I can give a counterexample with something like Crimson Desert. So Crimson Desert, some people got the game early, but the game wouldn't play because it was hard locked inside of the console to not allow the game to be played until a certain date that was locked into the console as well. So I think that even if you go and you use only physical media, what's to say that the console couldn't just prevent you from running that physical media with its software? So like that's what I'm saying is like the problem fundamentally is a lack of consumer protections and a lack of consumer rights. That's something that can manifest in not having physical copies, but it can also manifest even in having physical copies and having your access to using that physical copy revoked by their first party software. That's it. You need to install off disk anyways. Well, I'm just saying in general, that's the issue with DRM. A lot of things, yeah.
You're buying nothing. You are not buying anything.
You're buying a
license.
license,
And they're just dangling their dicks right in front of our faces. Ubisoft unapologetically said consumers need to get more comfortable not owning their games. Like, how can you possibly be supportive of this? And people...
To be fair, I think that I think that quote was taken out of context, but, again, like, okay. It's like it. Yeah, okay.
Aren't. Like I said, I think the preference is shifting away from digital in light of wanting more physical. Following this date, new games will be available on PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. This transition has no impact on games that already released or will be releasing prior to January 2028 in disc format. Also something
a lot of people are criticizing me saying that. So he was interviewed and he was talking about the differences between the way that people consume video media and, like, for example, TV shows and movies, and how people have moved towards towards becoming more comfortable not necessarily owning movies or TV shows anymore because they're watching it through streaming. And so he was comparing that to video games, and he's saying that the reason why that hasn't happened with video games is because people aren't more comfortable with that, and people need to become more comfortable, and the reason why they're not is because they don't trust companies. That was the context of the conversation. And I think that I still disagree with it, right? You should be able to, like, if you buy, this is my opinion, right? If you buy a video game, you should have access to playing that video game, period. They should never be able to take that away from you. They should never be able to deny you service. They should never be able to just like tell you, oh no, you can't do this anymore. It should be your game that you own, that you get to make decisions for, and that's it. Besides redistributing and then reselling the game, or doing so, or not just reselling, but like copying and reselling the game, I think it should be fine. And you could literally make that a law. By the way, you could just make that a law.
Noting, this doesn't, like, they're saving a lot of money on not making physical games anymore, but it's not going to reflect in the pricing. The games are still going to be $70, $80 games.
$90.
So, like, you're still getting slapped around with the pricing. It's not like this is going to bring down the cost of a now spiraling out of control industry.
I think this is another good point that he's bringing up, is that if PlayStation was able to announce this and say that because of this, we're going to be lowering the price of our premium titles by $5 or $10, I think that immediately people would be very accepting and probably begrudgingly accept it, and most people would be happy even. But the problem is that we all know that they're going to cut their costs, and the consumer isn't going to see a single cent of that. There's never going to be a point where like the consumer actually pays a lower price, or there's more value added to the consumer's experience because of this lower option possibility.
This is a natural direction for Sony Interactive Entertainment to adapt to consumer trends as the general preference for digital media significantly outpaces physical discs. This transition will enable us to align more closely with how most of our community prefers to access and play games today. We'll continue to prioritize our resources to drive innovation on how players can access games and provide choices as to where players prefer to purchase new games. Whether that's at retailers or the PlayStation Store, we remain committed to delivering a world-class gaming experience to our fans, and we thank you for your continued support. Hey pal, you just blew in from Stupid Town? If you are a digital-only platform, why the fuck would anyone choose you over Steam? Like, genuinely. You have a worse store. You shut down your stores too. You literally just shut down the PS3 store and PS Vita one, so people wouldn't even feel comfortable buying from your store, considering at any point in time they'd have to be like living in fear that you're going to swoop in like the boogeyman and take away the things they bought. You have a much weaker store in terms of titles than Steam, so why would they choose you? Like, yes, it is more expensive to build a PC that can handle, like, you know, more high-end
The reason why people choose Sony is because Sony has exclusives that Steam doesn't have. That's the reason why they keep using exclusives as a way to do it. They're basically using exclusives as a way to keep themselves in the market, because in a free market where every single video game could be played on any console, not a single fucking person would be buying a PS4, a PS5, or an Xbox. That's why Xbox sales have gone down. It's because people are just buying PCs instead. Why would somebody do that? And actually, when I say nobody, that's actually not true, because a PC has a higher price point, and so some people couldn't afford it. But I think that astronomically, you would see way less people buying PlayStations because they could just use them on PC instead.
But there are solid entry-level PCs out there, and yes, while PS5 is cheaper than that right now, I imagine the PS5 prices are going to go up as well, reflective of Xbox price increase. I think that's the writing's on the wall. There's going to be a price increase pretty soon. So eventually the gap's not going to be that big in terms of like price discrepancy between PS5 and PC. And
my opinion is that what you should do is that you should invest in developing and building a PC yourself that is $1,500. And your $1,500 PC will probably last you longer than your $900 PlayStation. It will also double as a work machine. You can do other things on the PC as well. And I think you can improve it and upgrade it at a lower cost than whenever you would have to improve and upgrade inevitably to the PS6. So, but like, I mean, that's easy for me to say, just get $1,500. Many people don't have the option to do that, and that's why they're buying PlayStations.
Again, PC has a much more robust catalog of games to choose from in the digital-only format with Steam.
Everyone wants PC,
So why the fuck would anyone ever even consider shopping exclusively on the Sony PlayStation Store after you keep going scorched earth on physical media and taking away people's products that they bought thinking that they owned them?
Well, that's the main thing, is that like if you weren't removing things that people already owned and taking them away, I don't think people would be as worried about that, because you don't really own the games that you have on Steam either, but people love Steam. So the problem is that you have a precedent where you remove content and people don't have any recourse for it. You're not getting your money back. You're just fucked.
The way they're treating this shit, I wouldn't be surprised if they start going door to door, treating people that own physical PlayStation discs like terrorists. Like, excuse me, we're gonna need to sweep the premises here. We need to check your house. Do you have physical discs here? We got.
Are you hiding? Are you hiding physical discs of PlayStation 5? Do you have copies of Demon Souls under the floorboards?
A tip. And they just start like taking it physically out of your hands to make you shop at the store.
Yeah.
A store which, by the way, is more expensive shopping digital only on older titles.
Yeah.
So if you bought the physical copies for some of the games here, like this tweet illustrates, you saved money getting the physical edition on like God of War, Ragnarok, Gran Turismo, those kind of things. But
this is a great insight. I've never thought about this before, but he's right about this, that they maintain the higher prices for these games via digital copies versus whenever you were able to buy them at Blockbuster, and, you know, like the older games would just go down to $15 and you could buy them anyway. No, Dustin's very right about this.
Now that that's off the table going forward, these games presumably are never going to get cheaper on the PlayStation Store because they're still charging full price for these older games on their store. So they're looking to even make more money off of going digital only when getting physical down the line has been cheaper. Now they've fully got it by the titties here. They fully control it directly. So they never have to bring the price down because there's only digital options to choose from now. You can't get a physical edition now for these upcoming games. Thus, the price doesn't ever have to go down if Sony doesn't want it to, and it looks like they really don't want it to. Still paying full
What's going up? Like, I mean, this is it. And the problem is that here's the worst thing about it, is that right now we are living in an age where instead of the consoles competing with each other in order to deliver the best experience to the user, it's the consoles that are waiting for each other to break the ice for the worst living experience for the consumer so they can continue to meet that same lower barrier. So, for example, as soon as the Steam machine comes out and it's announced to be $1,100, then you see the price hike for the PlayStation. After you see the price hike for the PlayStation, then you see the price hike for the Xbox. And I think that really sucks. So as I'm starting to see why people still buy physical. Well, the reason why Sony did this too, I think this is the real reason. I mean, it's because not a lot of people buy physical copies, and manufacturing, distributing, and selling them isn't worth it. That's the reason why they're doing it. Like, there's not, like, yes, there are secondary, second-order beneficial effects that they have, but the very base reason is because nobody's buying them anymore.
For some of these older titles to this day. Now let's take a peek at the bright future of digital only with Sony's immaculate track record of having stores that they shut down and take away the shit that you spend your money on. This is their announcement about shutting down the PS3 and Vita store. After nearly 2 decades of supporting the PS3 console generation, we wanted to let you know we'll be closing the PlayStation Store on PS3 as well as Vita. PlayStation Store on PS3 will close in select markets starting this year, followed by global pressures for PS3 and Vita next year. That means new content purchases will no longer be possible once the PlayStation Store closes on these devices. To ease the transition, players will still be able to download previously purchased content after the closing date for the foreseeable future. As the PlayStation Store continues to evolve to support modern commerce systems, including updated payment processing standards, PS3 and Vita are no longer able to support these updates at the level required. As a result, we will need to close PlayStation Store on these devices in the time frames as followed.
Yes,
they then list out the time frame where eventually life support will be pulled on July 2027. That's doomsday. We know this news may be disappointing to PS3 and Vita players.
It makes you think about how crazy that is, right? that, like, you know, we all grew up like going to the store and, you know, you go to Walmart or Target or somewhere and you go to GameStop and, like, you know, EB Games or Game Crazy, and you get like your fucking video game and like that's it, and you spend like $50 on this new video game, and like now everything's like way more expensive. It's all digital. I mean, the hobby has really changed in a big way. I think it's changed in a tremendous way.
Hold a special place in their hearts for this generation of gaming. They represent an important era in PlayStation history. It wasn't an easy decision. As they continue to expand the PlayStation experience on newer devices, most of our users are playing on today. We need to focus more resources on delivering the best gaming experience on these platforms as we look towards the future. To our amazing players, we want to give our heartfelt thanks for your ongoing passion and support, which they love to keep wiping their ass with, by the way. Thanks for all the passion and support, Sony fans. We're going to keep taking away your games, by the way, and no physical media, by the way. Thank you again. Big thumbs up. Come give us a fist bump, which has helped inspire us to shape PlayStation into what it is today. What? A pile of dog shit? Like, it's insulting. We're excited for the future ahead as we continue to push the boundaries of play.
Yeah.
We look forward to having you on this journey with us as we explore new game worlds and new adventures that have yet to come. What a heartfelt message to the community and to gamers worldwide.
Wow.
Hey, you should shop with us digitally. And yes, we might just shut it all down at some point, so everything you spent hundreds if not thousands of dollars on will vanish and you have no recourse. That's just something you're going to have to live with.
This is, and also, by the way, they have to do this. Like, I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news here, but you can't realistically expect PlayStation to infinitely manage the PlayStation 3 store for the rest of time. Like, that's not sustainable. Eventually, they're going to have to do something in order to not have to invest money into something they're not making any money off of. So these are problems, again, these are problems that need to be resolved legally and with legislation and rulings. Because fundamentally, this is like all that. That's like a fine print thing. And it's like, okay, it kind of makes sense. It kind of doesn't make sense. Why not? Because I don't think you should be like, why would a company do something when like nobody's using something, right? Like, you're going to get to a point where there's like less than like 1,000 people using a PlayStation 3 store. And how much money does it take to update that store and have it continue to be functional? And is it worth investing that as a company? Probably not. That's just the way every piece of software works. It is. Like Microsoft, that's the way Microsoft works. Every piece of software in the entire world works that way. Like, that's just how it is. But the problem really is that you don't have any recourse to do something whenever you buy, like, let's say a game, and then they take it away from you. That's the big problem that I have an issue with. Like, whenever you had something and then they revoke the license because of some arbitrary reason, that needs to change.
Why aren't you getting your wallet out? Why are you guys not shopping on PlayStation Store right now? This is exciting. This is coming from a place of passion. We're pushing boundaries here for a generational experience for our community. We're doing everything. We're bending over backwards for
Somebody
you.
says don't start where you can't finish. Okay. All right. Name one piece of 80s software that's still operational that you still receive support for today by the company that originally made it. That requires, you know, regular updates, that's constantly updated. Or 90s. You can do 90s too. 90s is fine. We'll give him a minute. I can only think of Steam. Steam wasn't in the 90s, number one. And also Steam, you don't own any of those games either. You can't download any of those games locally to begin with. Like, or sorry, they can revoke the license for a Steam game too. Like, if your Steam account gets banned, can you still play your Steam games? No. This is just Steam games? No. This is just the way it is.
You bitches. You're so selfish. What? You want to own your games? Are you crazy? You want to own your games? No. You think you want to own your games, but you don't want to own anything. You want us to control it. You want us to take it away at some point. You want it digitally. Please, come on. Get in here. It's stupid, man. It's so stupid. They're so out of touch, it's painful. Naturally, everyone's pointing to this with the PS4 where they showcased, here's how you share your games on PS4, and then they hand each other the physical copy and say,
This is what made PS4 so dominant, too.
Thanks. This was a massive dunk at the time, pushing back against a lot of shit we were seeing the industry starting to do at that point already with how they were handling, like, sharing games and such. And this was Sony lat spreading here and making disc-based games a large part of the PS4's identity, which became a big selling point at the time that really propelled it above the competitors. And
it was. And I think that's what made, like, that changed me from being an Xbox fan to being a PlayStation fan, personally.
They made it clear with PS4 that physical was something they valued greatly and, like, the importance of being able to share.
Well, here's what happened. Like, I mean, this is just the truth. People stopped buying physical copies. They stopped buying physical copies. They stopped using physical copies. And now it doesn't make sense to make them anymore. Like, I don't understand. Like, I mean, I get that people are upset about this, and I think that we need better consumer laws, but I don't know why this is so incomprehensible for people to imagine that a lot of people just aren't buying physical copies anymore. That's just the way it is.
Game back and forth, physically passing it to
I don't
one
know
another.
what to say.
This was a huge successful campaign that they ran about that. So core part of PlayStation's identity, not even that long ago, was these physical discs.
It was.
Being able to share the physical discs like that. Look at us now. Look at how quickly shit's changed. And changed for the worse. Significantly worse.
I think COVID is what really kind of made it happen, is because COVID totally normalized digital distribution and digital consumption. And now you have people that are like, you know how many 24-hour Walmarts we used to have? Now we hardly have any. So COVID really changed the way that people consume things. Like whether it is consuming media, consuming food, like, shopping. You have Instacart. It's like such a huge thing now. Everything now is different. And I think that COVID shifted us away from that.
There are no
changing
benefits
consumer
to this
habits.
change. There's no one that should be excited about this, because why would you as a consumer even want to have the chance that what you bought disappears?
There is no benefit to this to the consumer. This is absolutely true. I can understand why Sony is making this business decision, and I think that it probably is the correct business decision, but at the same time, there is no benefit to the consumer.
You've spent your money on it. You should own it. But you don't. And they're not even being honest with you about what you're doing. You're not even buying to own, you are renting from them. They're not even calling it what it is, which is renting. You are getting admission to this product, a license to this product for...
And this is something that we allow them to do because the government is written in a way that allows this to happen. We could literally just, like, let's take a step back here, okay? What is ownership? I say I own this. Do you want to know why I own this? It's because if somebody comes into my house and they try to steal it from me, the government says you can't do that. And, to a functional extent, it's because maybe if somebody comes in and tries to steal it, like, you can stop them from doing that, right? Ownership is not real. Ownership and private property are complete abstractions. They're a societal abstraction. So to the extent that they say you can't own this or you don't own this, you have to always remind yourself that the concept of ownership in itself isn't even a real thing. So if you're applying and you're saying that according to our fake made-up rules, we get to do whatever we want, I think it's time to change the fake made-up rules. Does that make sense? So who owns it then? Ownership is defined by either a larger power or the person who is able to exercise power to control something. That's their TOS at this point. The TOS doesn't overrule the law. Like, you can't sign your TOS and it says, now I'm a slave to Sony, and you have to report in so you can go and make video games. TOS does not overrule the law. That's not how it works. Following that logic, you own your games on Steam as well? No, you don't own your games on Steam. You own a license to play those games.
However long they deem necessary, or however long their deals with the licensor,
the
like
way
in
it
the
is.
case of the movies, lasts.
Mm-hmm.
But you as a consumer could very well end up with nothing, like they just take it away from you.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be something you're okay with. Like, it shouldn't. If you are okay with it, you're wrong.
And you have to stop it with the government, because these companies are going to do it. They will do this because it's in their best interest. Everybody will always act in their own best interest. And consumers have to do the same thing by advocating for policies that put them first.
For being okay with it. I'm just going to tell you right to your face. That is dumb. You should own what you are spending your money on here in this industry. And they're not even...
You should have unlimited autonomy around consuming a piece of media that you spent money on. If you spend money on a piece of media, you should have every right and every privilege to use it for as long as you want, and they should not be able to take it away from you.
Advertising it as anything other than you owning it. They're trying to mislead you with what's actually happening in this digital-only process. And it's just out of control. It is truly out of control. I can't... Like, I had a hunch that Sony was going to go this direction, especially after the GTA 6 announcement. I had a feeling. I think most people kind of had a feeling in their gut.
We all knew this was going to happen because of changing consumer habits, unironically, right? Like, no meme, most people digitally download. And I honestly am wondering this with Charlie. You look at the last 10 games that Charlie played, how many of these video games did you actually buy a physical copy of? I bet it's the minority. Now, maybe I'm a fucking idiot, but I bet it's the minority. I bet most people are digitally downloading. And that's the bottom line. People are not buying the physical copies anymore, so they're not going to spend their time selling them. Duh. The fundamental problem isn't the distribution, it's the control.
But I didn't think it would be this quick. This is a week later that they're just boldly, brazenly making this announcement that they're wiping their ass with physical media. Disc-based games, they're going to be gone soon. I thought it'd take still a couple more years before they felt confident enough to just pull the rug there and just say, like, all right, it's gone. But yeah, they did it, and it really sucks. Anyway, that's about it. So yeah.
It's going to get worse. It's going to get a lot worse. And I think it's very annoying. And I think that it will continue to get worse until people are able to organize and exercise political power in order to hold these companies accountable. Here's the video. Make sure to give it a like. I love Charlie's videos. I watch them pretty regularly. You guys know all about that. So, yeah, that's it. So, by the way, I saw this too. This is some girl that won election yesterday. Democratic Socialist Malak Kiros has won our Colorado House primary in a shocking result. This is going to keep happening, by the way. So you are going to keep having socialists win offices, and the reason why is because the Democrats have no values. They have no values, no priorities, nothing. Another terrorist supporter, she's definitely, I think, so it's this woman. Yeah, it's the woman that was like talking about how like 9/11 was like our fault, right?
Abolishing ICE is just one step, right? Like, abolishing ICE is just one step, right? Democrats have been in power multiple times over the last few decades and did nothing to address the immigration reform that we actually need.
Expenditures, increased spending.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I think there has to be an immediate pathway for every single undocumented immigrant that's here in this country today that does not require them to shell out thousands of dollars to go through the process, for it to take decades at a time to be able to get to citizenship, an immediate pathway to citizenship, and then just
Yeah, they want to give everybody in the country citizenship who's here illegally. And this is the person that won. The reason why they're winning Democratic primaries is because Democrats have no defense against this. Democrats have literally no defense against people that are like this because they've built their entire party and all of their ideology around virtue signaling. It's completely built around virtue signaling, emotional messaging, and other forms of emotional guilt tripping, emotional blackmail, and everything. So the moment that people from the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America, the moment that they go even farther to the emotional blackmail, the moment that they go even farther to the guilt tripping, Democrats have no choice but to acquiesce and to enable them because that's the only value that they have. No Democrat, like this is the reason, like if you look at, like, for example, like how proud are you to be an American, like, you know, Republicans versus Democrats, is that Democrats have gone down massively. It's at the lowest that I think people have ever seen it. Like, let's see here. How proud are you to be an American Democrat versus Republican? So I don't know, I spelled it wrong, but I think you guys can clearly see what's going on here. Yeah, this is the graph. Pride of being an American by political party. So most Democrats, 36% of Democrats are not proud to be Americans, or sorry, are proud to be Americans. So that means 74%, well, I mean, not necessarily, it's not always like binary that way, but in a big way, a lot of these people are not proud to be Americans. Democrats say these people moderate once in power, then there's this. Well, let me see what this is. I'll take a look at it. Terrible, deport them all. Yeah, they hate America, right? I mean, it's clearly simple.
Not wait to abolish ICE and pass Medicare for all.
Yep.
We will not wait to put an end to the politics of the past, to get big money out of our politics, and to reject corporate PACs and APAC.
They've got to, there's no way they played that, right?
And no, we will not wait to end the genocide in Palestine.
That's it. By the way, the reason why they want to abolish ICE and give Medicare for all is so they can continue invading the country with foreigners and then have Americans be footing the bill for all of these foreigners to have infinity kids. That's the reason why they want to get rid of ICE. That's the reason why they want Medicare for all. They don't want this as an ends. They want it as a means. And the goal of that means is for them to be able to consolidate political power and then use it to wield as a racial demographic voting bloc to do whatever they want for their group. That's what that's all they want, right? That's what they're doing. Medicare for foreigners, paid for by all. Yeah, and Google where she was born. Well, she was born in Ethiopia or something like that, right? I mean, this person is not an American. If it was up to me, I would be deporting all of these people. None of these people deserve to be in America, and they are really just a massive problem. But I think that they are a much bigger problem for the Democrats, and I think that in a big way, I think that they will poison the Democrats and make the Democrat position something that is untenable for the average person. I don't think that the average person wants to hear about genocides in Palestine or, you know, like some other issue of what's happening in another country across the world. Like, they don't really care what's happening in Iran. They don't care what's happening anywhere else. And I don't think that also, like, getting rid of ICE is a mainstream position. I'm sure some people think this. There's a lot of people I'm sure think this, but I don't think it's a majority position. These people are basically, and this is what I think, is that they are so extreme that they will not have moderate voters that will come out and vote for them and you know, like, basically just, you know, hold your nose and vote anyway, right? I don't think that they're going to have a lot of moderate voters. She went from Zoran ignoring Israel as a debate point to DSA making Palestine their whole platform. Well, the reason why Palestine is their main platform is because Palestine represents a resistance against Western positions, right?
Mr. Mamdani, can I just jump in? Would you visit Israel? As mayor?
I will be doing, as the mayor, I'll be standing up for Jewish New Yorkers, and I'll be meeting them wherever they are across the 5 boroughs, whether that's in their synagogues and temples or at their homes or at the subway platform, because ultimately we need to focus on delivering on their concerns.
And just yes or no, do you believe in a Jewish state of Israel?
I believe Israel has the right to exist.
Not as a Jewish state?
As a state with equal rights.
He won't,
Okay.
he
Not
won't
as a
say it
Jewish
has a
state.
right to exist as a Jewish state. Be very
And
clear
his
on
answer was no, he won't visit Israel.
I said that.
That's what he was trying to say.
No, unlike you, I answered.
This is why he won, by the way. And I think honestly, like, this is the problem. Why the fuck are you talking about Israel inside of a debate for being the mayor of a city? Why are you even talking about this? This has nothing to do with like what your job is. You have nothing to even do. It's bullshit. So the real reason why he won, I think that Zoran is like, he's one of those people where he has a lot of ideas that I agree with, but he has the ideas for the wrong reasons. So like one example is like this, like I agree with his position on this, but I don't agree with it for the same reason. It's another example with Zoran is making bus fares free. I think bus fares should be free. And the reality is that they shouldn't be free because it reduces crime. They should be free because it's annoying to deal with and people should be able to ride the bus and not have to worry about it. So what I think happens why is that chick talking about Palestine running for office then? It's because, so this is the reason why I think that a lot of them care so much about it. It's because the pro-Palestinian resistance, in a lot of ways, is a metaphor for resistance against the West and resistance against Western power, American culture, and basically any sort of Western culture in general. So because they view Palestine as a resistance front against that, that's the reason why they're so supportive of it. Now, I think obviously there are some humanitarian reasons too that I would agree with, but I think that you also have to acknowledge that a lot of these people are supporting it just purely because it is oppositional towards the West. And they're anti-capitalist. Well, they're anti-Western in general. And also, I mean, there's a racial component to this as well. I mean, obviously. So Aber wins. Palestine was on the ballot. Now a Palestinian American Democratic Socialist is going to Albany. Yeah, I mean, this is what's going to happen. And so this is what I think the ultimate result of this is going to be, is that you're going to see more and more people that are running for these tickets, like, you know, for Palestine being on the ballot or anything else. I think they're going to do this more and more and more, and you're going to have average Democrats, because this is the truth, right? Everybody in America learned about World War II. We all learned about how bad you know, Hitler was and how bad the Holocaust was. Like, that's why every single criticism of every person inside of America is always correlated to Hitler. The reason why, it's the same reason if all you have is a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. The reason why they use that all the time is because that's the only frame of reference that they have. So what happens is that as soon as people start digging into, for example, these people's support into Hamas, these people's support into Iran and into Hezbollah, etc., and I think this is what's going to happen, you're going to reveal that many of these people refuse to disavow it or refuse to, you know, condemn it directly and say that it's evil and bad. And I think that their inability to do so, and then once you combine that with the fact that these groups have a stated intention of killing all of the Jews in the world, I think that it's going to be very, very hard to sell Americans on the concept that somebody who refuses to condemn an organization whose stated goal is to kill every Jew in the world isn't anti-Semitic and doesn't want to do another Holocaust. Because fundamentally, if they got their way, there would be another Holocaust. That's the truth. There would be. They're pretty much taking over areas like Dearborn, Michigan, towns in Texas too. Yes. Well, I think that also, like, well, what I'm saying is that I think DSA stuff is actually poisoning the Democrats. And the reason why it's poisoning them is because I think that there are a lot of Americans that whenever they see that kind of stuff, they're like, like, wait a minute, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean the U.S., like, you know, 9/11 had to happen or something like that, right? Like, they hear something like that. There are a lot of, you've got to remember, Joe Biden won the primary in 2020. It wasn't Kamala Harris that won the primary. She was actually, like, last place. So Joe Biden won the primary because he is your good old-fashioned, old, reliable Joe. I remember Joe. He's been around for 40 or 50 years. And the moment that they see some person who is not speaking English, who is from a totally different culture, they can't unequivocally condemn terrorism. They want to constantly bring up, you know, like Middle Eastern issues. It's just not going to work, guys. It's not going to sell very well to your average Southern Democrat. And that's the reason why these people are engaging in a lot of cases in ethnic replacement. It's because they know that the average people in America will never support that stuff. So they have to import more votes. And another way to import more votes is to have more kids. And so they're creating a government apparatus that enables them to have as many kids as possible and make the government pay for all of it. That's why they want Medicare for all and all of this stuff. That's the main reason why. It's so it can enable them to basically outpopulate and then demographically replace the people in America so they can use America's resources for their own goals. That's the reason why they're doing it, or legalizing 20 million illegals. And I want to let you guys know that there should be no doomerism or anything like that about people that are like this way. Because I think that really eventually these people will overplay their hand, and you will have somebody, like, for example, like, let's say you legalized and you made a citizen every single illegal alien tomorrow. Let's say you did that. Okay, well then you could just get rid of it. It's just a sheet of paper. You wrote it down. Okay, erase it. It's simple. So anything that can be done can be undone. Anything that somebody can do, you can create a countermeasure and then undo it. So never think that, like, oh my God, it's lost or you can't do anything. Like the law, yeah, you just literally change it. You just delete it. Except abortion, yeah, much harder to undo something, though. It is only hard to undo something when you are inhibited by the people that want to make it hard. Look at Bukele. Was it hard for him? No. So it's again, you have to look at it from that perspective. So then this is another person here, Francisco Hong for governor. This is a state representative that's going to go on Mike from PA's stream.
In the days that followed
That's shit crazy. Jew is not a fucking ethnic. It is Jewish is not an ethnicity. This constructed ethnicity.
It is, by the way.
This demonic ethnicity. Wholly invented.
You got a week suspension for this.
In the days that followed
That's shit crazy.
Yep, got a week for this. And it's just crazy. It is. It's both. Yes, Jewishness is it's an ethnicity, a Semitic, obviously, ethnicity, and it's also a religion. You can be both, neither, or one of them, obviously. So anyway, yeah, and these are the people that they're working with. So if you are a Jew in America, you need to understand that the people that you are supporting, if you're supporting the DSA, are running tacit approval for groups that want to literally murder and genocide you and your whole family. That is what their stated goal and intention is. That's what they want to do. This isn't a joke. It's not an exaggeration. It's not a, hyperbole. This is their stated purpose. And that's it. Jews overwhelmingly support Democrats in the DSA. Well, that's why I said I don't feel bad for people like Scott Wiener for being harassed and attacked by them, because he really is, you manifested this problem yourself, and now your problem, it's like Frankenstein's monster coming back to terrorize him. Like, that's what's happened. As a Jewish person, even if we wanted it not to be an ethnicity, it's not up to us. That's why many Jewish people died in 1939. It only matters if your grandparents were Jewish, not if you assimilated or converted. Well, it does. I mean, there's some complexity to that, but I'm sure you know it better than I do. I'm not going to try to argue with you about that. So yeah, the Jews supporting GSA are equally suicidal and pathetic, just like white women supporting white genocide. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, definitely. But yeah, I mean, these are the people that they are engaging with. This is fundamentally where it's at. And I think that this is very, very bad for the Democratic Party, and it is actually very good for the Republican Party. The moment that you can play clips of people that are like him saying this stuff, and then you can show that you have actual candidates running with these people, saying that Jews are a demonic ethnicity, that you support Hezbollah, stuff like that, this will immediately, instantaneously poison the well for millions and millions and millions of Americans. So I think that the end result of this is that the DNC will successfully cannibalize the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America, will successfully cannibalize the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party has no defense against this. They have no defense against this. They can't stop this from happening. So the DSA will just continue doing it more and more and more. And you know what I think? I think you get what you fucking deserve. That's what I think. I think that's exactly what they deserve. They can't defend it because they stand for nothing. Well, they're oppositional. They're oppositional to Trump, and they're oppositional to certain ideologies. Here it is. Okay, I'll watch one more, then I'm gonna look at a couple of the. I will look at the Charlie video about the fucking console stuff. DNC chants "You're next" to Democrat leader Hakeem Jeffries at their victory party. An appeaser is one who feeds a crocodile, hoping it will eat them last. You're next. You're next. Mm-hmm. Yep. They're going to do it too. They're going to get rid of all of these old school Democrats, and they're going to, and the reason why is that, I'm going to be real, the DSA has a much stronger vision than the Democratic Party does. And they are able to clearly and plainly express that ideology with no remorse, no caveats, no anything else. They do. Now, it's like Nazis had a very cohesive and a very specific ideology that you would easily explain what their ideology is. Just because somebody has an ideology that's cohesive and you can understand, it doesn't make it a good ideology. All I'm saying is that it is an ideology that can be communicated, and I think that just having something to believe in rather than something to fight against, which is them just fighting against Trump, that's a massive difference. And I think that's the reason why they're winning in so many of these cases. The left embraced identity politics and refugees. They know the deal with the fractured identity politics and tribalist infighting. Well, the problem is that once you embrace intersectionality, these people will always overrule you because they have more diversity points. So that means that you have to either go against what your defining characteristics are, or you have to basically allow yourself to be subjugated by them. And I think that's what's happened, is that they've just allowed themselves to be subjugated. Why are they more focused on Palestine than they are about America? Why are they more focused on Palestine than America? I'll give you like a number of examples. So there's multiple reasons. Number one, I think that there is like the very obvious reason where it's like people like we're giving a lot of money to Israel and they don't like what they're doing in Palestine, right? And I think that's the reason why like most people probably feel that way. There isn't like a 7-dimensional reason. They just see videos of, dead Palestinian kids and they're like, oh my God, this is horrible. I hate Israel. I think it's actually just that simple, right? But then you also have other components, and these are all smaller pieces of the pie, is you have some people that do it for racial solidarity. They view Israel as a projection of Western power in the Middle East, and not only do they not want Western power in the Middle East, they don't want Western power anywhere. So a L for Israel is an L for Western power, is an L for Americanism, and it's an L for Western civilization. So that's another big reason why they support it. It's crazy to think a group of anti-Americans can gain political foothold in America. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you have universal suffrage. I mean, this is the reason why the founding fathers never had that. I mean, there's a complete reason. So another reason why they support it is a religious reason, right? Obviously, I think that almost all Muslims are probably going to be more sympathetic towards Palestine because it seems like it is Jews versus Muslims. And I think that there's absolutely a religious component to this. So then you have on top of that, you have people that it is white versus non-white. Many people are not 11th degree Masons in terms of racism. They view Jewish people and white people as the same thing. Now, any white supremacist person would tell you that they're not the same thing, but in a general sense, I think that people understand them to be the same thing. So they also look at it as another group of white people bombing brown people, and because of that, it's white people being bad. And I think that if you put all of these reasons together and a few others that I'm sure I can't think of right now, you come up with the total picture of why Palestine is such an important thing. And also another part about it is that it is a very, very emotionally charged topic that is very hard. Like, people don't really understand it, I think, very well in a lot of cases. It takes a lot of delusion stacking. Well, like, it's always white people. Yes, definitely. And Israelis are not white. If I look at an Israeli and you ask, like, a lot of these people inside of this crowd, are those white people? I bet most of these people would say that, yes, those are white people. I think that's the case. No, I'm not saying all of them would, but I think that many of them would. Disagree about being just Jews versus Muslims. They don't react with the same hate when it's the U.S. versus Muslims. They have a special hatred for Jews. Well, hating Jews is the OG. It's like the OG bigotry, right? I mean, like that one predates all of the other ones, right? Before really a lot of racism, before other countries, it's really hating the Jews, right? That one goes way, way, way back. And so, and you see this. This is another big component, is that a lot of these leftist issues are completely, they're completely defined by, let me see, like, what's the best way to say this? They're totally defined by emotional grandstanding and emotional blackmail. Whether it's kids in cages, families being separated, Palestine being bombed, Lebanon being bombed, everything inside of their ideology is the most radicalized, most extreme, and most emotionally charged version of whatever the conversation is. It is extremely and heavily emotionally charged. It's almost never actually like a rational conversation. It's just emotional. Emotions appeal to women and non-critical thinkers. Yeah, I think that overwhelmingly a lot of the people that are involved in this stuff, and you can see this based off of those, you go back and look at the pro-Palestine rallies, it's overwhelmingly women that are screeching and screaming, right? I mean, I think that's clearly what's happened, and it's going to continue happening, right? That's really where I think things are going to go. Didn't know Republicans access this character model? Oh boy. Let me see if I add a few more of these here. It looks just like more bullshit. Another casino terror plot? Holy fuck. I'm sorry, but I can't stand people that always say they aren't white, they aren't black. Yeah, no one's white or black. They're social constructs, not racial identities. I think that you can understand that people might not have that necessarily, but at the same time, there is very clearly a definition that everybody is working off of and defining things off of. Do you think it'd be a good idea to have a woman president? I mean, I don't know. It depends on the woman, right? I mean, that's really what my opinion on all of these topics are. Is that, like, I don't like really making decisions on people based off of, like, a category. I'd much rather make a decision based off of, like, an entire, like, that individual person. Is that person a moron or not, right? And if they are, then, yeah, I think you should get rid of them. probably you know what? Let's not talk about that. Anyway, so Xbox hires an Indian woman as a CEO. This is a very important qualifier here. Ex-cucks, okay? Claim that she's going to save Xbox. She shuts down all of their studios, basically dismantles Xbox in 4 months. Champion. Somebody had to do it. Somebody had to put them out of their misery. Somebody had to take them out to the back of the barn and say, listen, this hurts me more than it's gonna hurt you. Turn around and face the wall. You know, like, I mean, that's it. And we don't need to do this, but that's what happens. Xbox died a long time. She's draining the swamp. These studios that she's doing it with, right? IO Interactive. Okay, so here's one right here. For a good while, it's been all positive news from IO Interactive. We remained humbled and honored by the response to our latest outing of a young, unproven Bond. A bold new story to take on one of the most famous characters in entertainment, which the world has embraced with love. However, we have to share some more downbeat news. A relationship with our external partner on our own IP project Fantasy has come to an end. This means that we have to adapt this new reality and short-term consequences, including staffing decisions, which is what is happening right as we write this update. We are now fully committed to supporting those affecting. They need to stop doing this. Stop tweeting that you're firing people. Just fire them. Just fire them. Like, because it's just going to give people more ammunition to say your company's failing. It's going to get more people angry at you. What's Project Fantasy? Like, is a world that we love? Like, what the fuck is Project Fantasy? What the fuck is Project Fantasy? No, we're going to look into this. It better not pull me to, like, some Rule 34 shit. Online fantasy RPG. Okay, so, like, that's... Well, that looks cool. Okay, so there's no release date or gameplay footage? Does there be any gameplay footage at all? Let me see if there is or not. Is it woke? There's no gameplay footage. Okay, so then who gives a shit? I mean, like, I don't know whether it's going to be good or not. So, yeah, anyway, bunch of people sitting around getting paid for nothing. Yeah, I mean, they made... Oh, how did James Bond do? How did it do? First Light. It got 71,000 people playing the game, and it has 5,000 people playing it. Now, overall, I think that the game... Like, this is just, like, my opinion. This was a game that was made for an audience that wasn't me. I was not the target audience for this video game. I didn't find any interest in it. I didn't really enjoy it that much. I just don't really care about the game. But I think it was a good game. They sold 2 million copies. Okay, well, didn't Dragon's Dogma sell 3 or 4 million copies and it still lost money? So I don't think that necessarily means a lot. So, yeah, like, let me look and see. I'll ask the AI. Did James Bond First Light make money? Cost versus development plus advertising. We'll see what the AI says about this. Metaphor sold 2.5. Didn't Atlas say that it underperformed? It didn't make as much money as Persona? So it cost $200 million. So it's made right now at typical probability math. So if it sells